Hi, I'm Stan Hustad, and welcome to our new television show, Marketing Life. That's right, the Marketing Life. We're going to help you live well. Going to figure out how you can best market you and grow your business. Coming your way every week from the Bits on the Wire studio in Tucson, Arizona. And welcome to our pilot program, our new show. And we're going to teach you that truly you make the difference because people buy you. Yes, it is the Marketing Life Coach, and I'm Stan Hustad, and I'm a personal performance coach. I've been a coach to many business leaders, entrepreneurs, many of them in the financial services industry, though more and more people from all over are asking me to help them do these three things. First of all, they want to become one of the 3% of the population who knows who they are and where they're going. Secondly, they want to become very, very good at performing, standing up and learning how to use the new media, how to use TV, how to use radio. I have a long career in media work, and people want help with that. It's something new to them. They're figuring out that if they want to make a difference, they're going to have to learn how to speak in public. They're going to have to learn how to use radio and television, perhaps podcasting, and maybe the great renaissance, boom, renewal of the media due to the internet. So they're asking me to do that. But they're also asking me to figure out how they can market themselves, how they can market their business, how they can make more money. These are challenging times. These are difficult times. And how can I step forward, sell more stuff by marketing my business, marketing myself, marketing my products and services. And so I've been doing that for a number of years, and people are asking me to come forward and help them do just that. And this is a new series of programs that we're going to have every week. It'll start on a Friday every week, and then on demand through the rest of the week. You can watch anytime you want, and you can obviously be in touch with us. This is interactive. In case you don't know what interactive means, that means you can be a part of the show too. What I'd like you to do is, if you have any questions, email them in. Do whatever. Stan at marketinglifecoach.com, Stan at marketinglifecoach.com, and we'll be responding to many of your questions about marketing and sales, and particularly how you can do so in the financial services industry. A number of years ago, a man who mentored me from a distance was Peter Drucker. And this was over 10 years ago. He wrote for Forbes magazine, and the cover simply said this: everything you've learned is wrong. Everything you've learned about business in the new, emerging, internet, digital, different economy, many of the rules and things that we have learned about life and business are no longer true. And that is true. Many of the things that we thought would work no longer work. Many businesses are struggling right now, and many people are struggling because there's been so much volatility, so much change. And not only has the last 10 years been awesome in terms of change, in the last few years, as we've gone through a major economic challenge, the difficulties of that, many businesses and many business people and business leaders are finding it very, very difficult to make it. Because many of the things they learned, many of the things that were standard practices, many of those things dealt with a sense that things would continue going well. Many of the things that we have learned are wrong. Now, there's a very good chance that if you are in sales and marketing, much of what you have learned is wrong. If you received a sales training of the traditional sort, I'd like 20 minutes of your time to sit down with you and tell you a little bit about myself and my company and see if there's a match. Does that match any of your sales presentations? I'm sorry, but that stuff is not going to work anymore. People are not going to do that for you. They're probably not even going to answer your phone call anymore. And by the way, should you even call them? There's a good chance that they are on the do not call list. And if you violate that, you could be in big trouble. The fines can be hefty for calling people who don't want to be called. That's right. Everything you may have learned about sales and marketing and sales and how to present yourself, things have changed. That's why a number of years ago, I wrote this book, particularly for those people in the financial services. And I simply said this: it's you who makes the difference. Now, that is increasingly true. We're going to discover that most of the things that you and I are seeking to sell, it could be insurance, it could be annuities, it could be investments, it could be anything. Those things have become fully commoditized. People can buy whatever you're selling. They can buy it from anybody. They can buy it from nobody. They can buy it on the internet. They want to buy it at the lowest possible price, and you're walking into that environment and you're saying is, buy it from me. And they're asking the question, why should I buy it at all? And why should I buy it from you? Now, I've anticipated this for some time, and that's why I wrote the book, and many people are now beginning to acknowledge it. No matter how good the company that you work for is and how good the products are, people don't trust products and companies like they used to. In effect, if they don't trust you, no matter how good the product or the service or how good the company, they won't buy from you. Because the truth is, as we said, you make the difference and they buy you first. And if they don't buy you, they won't buy anything else. So I have to get up every day, go out into the marketplace, and I have to attract people. I have to find people who will, first of all, buy me. And then buy my business offer, buy the product or service or whatever it is that I'm trying to bring into their lives, and hopefully they'll pay me, and hopefully they'll even be willing to pay above average or premium prices because they enjoy the experience or how good the product or the service works for them. Now, we're going to try in this series of programs to help you figure out in a variety of fun and unique ways, and I want this to be fun. I oftentimes say life is too short and life is too long, so if we can't have fun, let's not do it. How can we have fun? How can we market what we have, market our business, but most importantly, how can we market us? And here is the new paradigm, the new way of looking at things. It is truly your life that they will buy. Now, I got up this morning, like many of you, and I checked my internet email, and I was overwhelmed with messages. There are thousands of messages out there every day. And most of them, as you know, aren't true. People don't trust the fact that you have a message. You're saying something. Why should I believe it? I feel that way, and you feel that way. I get a call from somebody I don't know. I get an email from somebody I don't know. I don't trust them, and I don't trust their message. So here is where marketing has changed radically. Many today are still saying, Stan, get your message out there. We're going to figure out how to get it out there. We can use Facebook, or we can use whatever, or we can use brochures, or we can use radio or TV. They're all trying to get that message out there. Now, let me tell you this. It is not your message that will make the difference. It is how you treat other people. Marketing is about you and how you treat other people. I want to say that again because that is the real takeaway from this first program. Marketing is about you and how you treat and help other people. Now, I was in radio in the Southern Caribbean for a number of years, and I used to do a request program. And I got really good at that, and people would write in and they'd ask me to play a certain song for them on their request line, a request night. And I used to really do it this way. I would say, hi, we have a song request from Barbara. Let's say she's on the Caribbean island of Barbados. And then she'd give me the name of the song that she wanted to hear. And one of their favorites in the Caribbean was One Day at a Time. And they liked that guy, Tennessee Ernie Ford. Boy, did they like that. One day at a time. I would oftentimes say, Barbara in Barbados, this is for you. And I have learned the great power of that language, of that word. People want something special for them. They want to be treated differently. They want you to care about them. It's you and it's them. You make a difference in their life. You treat them with the greatest possible respect. You treat them as if they were the most important person in the world. Now, that's not a brochure, and that's not a message. That's the way you live your life. That's the way you perform. So what we want you to do is begin to take seriously, and we talk more about this in our video program, The Marketing Life, is you need to get very serious about learning how you can be a life marketer, how your very life, your wisdom, your insight, the things you do, the things you offer to people makes the difference. It's not just the product, it's not just the service, it's not the company. They buy you because of your life, your treatment of them, and the wisdom and the experience you bring into their life. That's vital. The term we're going to use throughout this series of programs is personal performance marketing. You're marketing you. You're performing for them. It will be showtime. That's why this is not just a email or a webinar or an article. It's a show. It's a performance, because marketing today is learning how to use the performing arts and the performing media. You're also going to learn that even though this is kind of nice, this little flyer has a little bit of information about me, you're going to learn that unfortunately that piece of paper is a dead tree. It might be a pretty dead tree, it might be a glossy dead tree. Even my book, as nice as it might be, is a dead tree. And unfortunately, dead tree marketing is dead. Now, with that in mind, how do we begin to live the marketing life? How can we begin right now to think differently? All of that sales training, all of that marketing, all of that stuff we were taught before doesn't seem to work out anymore. Well, our challenge will be, and this entire series of programs will be about how you can truly live and enjoy the marketing life and how to live well. That's important. The marketing life is about living well. It's about being the kind of person that people want to deal with and do business with. It's about living well. It's about marketing you, and it's about growing your business. And that's what the marketing life is all about. Think about that and how that could change your life and your business. We'll take a break, and then we'll be back to get you started on the marketing life. Well, like every good television show, we have people who are behind us who help us do the right thing. One of the things that we're very grateful for is that NAIFA, the National Association of Insurance and Financial Advisors, has really been behind me as I've been working with people, particularly in the insurance and financial services industry, to help them learn how to market themselves, how to market you. And they've put together a program which we are doing together called Marketing You. Just that, how to figure out the best way to market you. So if you'd like to know more about the NAIFA coaching, marketing you program, and about the good folks at NAFA. We'd love for you to check them out. And if you'd like more information about that coaching program, why don't you just email me at stan@marketinglifecoach.com. That's stan@marketinglifecoach.com. And we'll be talking more about our relationship with NAFA and how that can serve you as you succeed at performing at your best and making your unique mark in the world. Well, we want to finish up by talking about some of the things you need to do. In our first part of the program, I tried to give you a little bit of a theory, a little bit of an understanding of why we really believe that it's about you and the life you live, and why marketing today is not necessarily the product nor the service, perhaps not even the company, but it is you and how you live and how you treat others. So let's make it very practical right now as we say, what can I do now, Stan? This is what I know. Now what can I do? Well, let's go through some mental exercises, and maybe you want to take a piece of paper and do some actual work yourself. Here are some of the things I would ask you to think about. For instance, what if it was just you that a person was buying? Let's assume that you were applying for a job and you didn't even know what the job was. By the way, there are a lot of people doing that right now. And in fact, we're going to be helping many of you and some of your colleagues and friends in figuring out how to get a job. And what we're talking about in getting a job is just that. You have to market and sell yourself. You're literally asking a company to buy you, to take a chance on you, perhaps to invest big money in you. It's not just a job, it's you they are buying. And they're doing so because they think it will be worthwhile. They'll actually make more money because you are there than they would if you were not there. And obviously that money will cover the cost of your salary and benefit package. So we have to think, me, what can I bring? What can you bring to another person? So I would ask you to do this. Let's just assume that you didn't have anything particular to sell that you knew of, or you didn't know what the job was that you were applying for. You just simply had to tell people what you can do, how you can benefit them, what you bring as a person, the kind of life you live to the organization, to the product, to the service. What is it about you? Now that's going to be hard to do. This is somewhat of an unnatural act to disconnect yourself from a product or a company or a service. But what if that was what you had to do? You had to market you. Think about that. How would you sell you and who you are to another person? If you'd like some advice on that, perhaps you want to email me and show me some of the things you've done, and perhaps I can give you some counsel and advice on that. But think about that. Now, I want you to answer this question. Does any of the material that you now have with your company or your product or the insurance you might sell or the trucks you might sell, the investments you might sell, whatever it is that you're selling, does any of the material that you have, even a dead tree, does any of it have anything to do with you? Is there anything that helps people buy you, that you have in your portfolio of things that they can look at, things you can leave behind, any way you can demonstrate how good you are? Is there anything like that? Now, if there is, let's do a little audit of it and find out how good it is. So go through your stuff right now, and how much of it is a reflection, a good reflection on you and what you do and the value and usefulness that you bring. If you don't have anything, well, that leads us to the next question. How do I start to position me? Put me out in front of people. What will be the first thing I will need to do? And we can talk about that, but I'm going to ask you, where do you think you can start to help people begin to know where your story is? Now, again, we'd be glad to help you in our coaching work and helping you figure out how you can market yourself and market your life. How would you begin to put that presentation? It could be a presentation, a good piece of paper, even though it may be a dead tree. How would you begin to put that out in front of people? Now, what you're going to have to do is be prepared to answer some questions about you. For instance, tell me this. What are you really good at? Let me just ask you that question. Now, that could be in terms of the business you're in, the industry you work, the products that you sell. What are you really good at? But it could be there could be other things that you're really good at. One of the things we're going to discover, particularly in marketing you, is you have to overcome your fears. And we'll be talking about that next week, about how to overcome some of our fears. But when you know that you're good at something, that you're really good at something, you will be surprised at how many of your fears will go away. So, ask and answer that question, what are you really good at? Now let me ask you this question, going right along with that. How can you help people? How can you be useful to other people? Now remember, people will buy you and perhaps buy your product that goes along with whatever it is you are putting out there if they find you to be helpful and useful. Your career is dependent on both your customers and clients and perhaps your employers, your company that you work with or for. How can you be really useful to them? Why should they, once again, buy you? How can you be of greatest usefulness to those people? How can they benefit from you? What do you bring to the table, bring to the marketplace that will make you valuable? Now, I know some of you are right there, as I was many years ago, saying, boy, I don't know. I've been doing my job. I've been trying to sell the stuff. I've been doing what they asked me to do. I've been putting it out there, and I might even be pretty good at it. But now you're asking it to come back to me. And that is where I'm asking you to go right now. So would you think about those questions that are about marketing you? Now we're going to make an offer. As you see, as this website goes and grows, and we're going to have a number of programs on the marketing life, you'll see that we actually have a DVD, a download program, a video where you can find out more about the marketing life. It's 45 minutes. It'll help you really get a handle on how you can go into your life, go into your business, put those things together, and start to really understand the power and the importance of the marketing life. So I challenge you to think about that. Right now, things are difficult. Many of you are watching this program because you're trying to figure out how you truly can make a difference in a very difficult and almost damaged economy in many cases. Those of us who work in the financial services know that things have been extremely difficult and there's a great deal of uncertainty. And with the economic challenges that are all about us, how can we make it? I even had a friend who told me that he advertised in his business. We've been working together for a long time and it's growing in spite of the difficulties. He put an ad on Craigslist and he had hundreds of applications. Many of these were people who were very, very, very overqualified in some cases for essentially what was an assistant position. Nothing wrong with that. It was good. These are difficult times and people are seeking opportunities